Hi everybody. No, you're not saying things. This is a burgundy truck sign. A very poorly painted one at that. I didn't realize that it's like, but it's farmhouse, it's rustic, whatever. I found this at Dollar General. It's like, I don't know why I'm taking that off, it doesn't matter. It's like remarkably crappily made. Yeah, I'm gonna just toss that because I don't need it. But like, this is like a little plastic thing. This is like, you know, but once it's up against the wreath, I think it's gonna be okay. And I'm gonna attach it here and probably here, I would think. I don't know. Well, before we do anything, we need a wreath, right? I have this natural and white mesh that I use all the time. I'm actually kind of getting tired of it because I'm like, the whites, I'm done with it. And then I have this orange, is it? Yeah, it's orange and natural colored burlap. I got this from Joann's. They opened the new Joann's by us. It's one of the big ones, and entire store, all I found was a $4 roll of mesh. So I was not impressed. But I am doing the Cruffle, I think, with the orange on top and the natural on bottom. I'm just gonna roll these edges, clip it. This is how I make my bundles. I have a pipe cleaner over here that's just been cut in half. And I want the curls facing up this time, only because I did it wrong and I had made like 10 bundles and I said, okay, I guess that's how we're doing it this time. We're gonna twist that off and then do another one. Flip it. Roll this in about 2 or 3 times. Scrunch it down. And these are cut at 20 inches. Well, they're supposed to be cut at 20 inches. Mine are like 18, 19 because every time I try to cut at 20, I end up with 17 pieces. But I think I actually have more than 18. And then when I put them in there, I'm just gonna kind of cross them like that. No. So that's one. I'm just gonna do one more, and then we're going to get them in the wreath. So yeah, the Joann's was just, I don't know. Like, we had a Joann's in Florida that was like so nice. And that's what I was expecting when I got in there, and I was like, ugh. And the worst part is, it's where Gordon's used to be. And if you're in New Orleans, if you've ever been to New Orleans and you've been to Gordon's, you know what a massive letdown a Joann's would be. But you know, I got a cheap roll of mesh, which is terrible, by the way. This mesh is so grabby. I had trouble cutting it. It's like snagging. I was just like, oh man, I'm never gonna get this cut. But I persevered. I conquered. Alright, so that's how I make my bundles, because if I was just making a wreath without filming a video, I would just put them directly in the pipe cleaners, but that would take me an incredible amount of time, and you know, my long versions of the videos, which I hope you guys are liking, they're pretty long already. So I have these, I have a bunch more over here. Here's my wreath form. It's a Dollar Tree wreath form. There's 6 segments on here. Let me put my clip up, because if I lose these clips, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's 6 segments. There's 2 pipe cleaners on these outer two rings, and there's one pipe cleaner in the middle on these inner two rings. That's how I always do it. I switch it up sometimes for like the crisscross poof method, but I've only done that like twice, and I was like, meh. Alright, so I'm taking these orange side up. Getting them in there pretty snug. Twisting and leaving these out because I don't know what I'm putting in there yet. I don't know if I'm putting anything in there. And I want one to go this way and one to go this way. And then when I put the next one in, can you guess which way it's going to go? Can I guess where the other side of the pipe cleaner is? Okay, so now these are going in, and these are going. Why are these so far apart? I moved over. That's alright, once you get everything in, it'll stand up. So I'm just going to do one more. You don't have to put them in a pattern. I want the white to be the natural and white to be as visible as the regular natural. So yeah, this is white this way and orange towards the middle and the outside. Just follow that until your wreath is done. Super secret long version time. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm having a rough go of it lately. My anxiety has been super elevated. All because the other night, Thursday, today is the 17th, it's Monday. I fell asleep Thursday night at 8 o'clock. No big deal, right? I mean, I do a lot of stuff. It's incredibly hot. I fell asleep earlier than usual, and I had been fixated on that ever since. Like, something's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. And it has been hell for the past Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today, like 4 days. I know nothing's wrong with me. I know that. But that's not how mental illness works. You know, I can be as educated as I am about it. I can just say, you know, it's nothing. It's not, like, my arm is tingling. It's because I've been crocheting nonstop for like the past 3 weeks. Not because I'm having a stroke. And, you know, I can't breathe because I have anxiety, not because I've coming down with the you-know-what. So I had an appointment with my therapist today, and I was just like, hey, I said, I'm having a really hard time. And I said, I'm really pushing myself for my channel. I'm trying to do the best I can. I want to be the best I can. I want to put out the best content I can. And he was just like, if you had a job where you clocked in at, 9 to 5 job, you clocked in at 9, you clocked out at 5, you would not be doing your job 24 hours a day. But when you work at home, it's always there. You know, like, if I'm in bed, I can see almost, well, I can't see it, I can almost see this table while I'm in bed. So I am trying to work on coming up with a schedule for myself that keeps me relatively sane, because I took my vacation, I'm gonna relax the whole time, not worry about anything, and I filmed so many videos, I can't even tell you guys. All I know is this video is not going up until the end of September. That's when it's scheduled for. So I talked to him about that, and I talked to him about, I had to call my mom to come over last night, because I wasn't doing well. Like, it wasn't like the worst it's ever been. It wasn't the least worst it's ever been. I called her and I said, hey, I am feeling a certain kind of way. Can you come over? And she said, as she always does, yeah, let me grab my stuff and I'll be over there in a minute. And she came over and we didn't do anything. She brought her dog. My dog like flipped out the whole time. I made a bunch of thumbnails. I wrote some description. Of course, you know, I'm working even as she's over here to help me get through my panic attack. But yeah, I talked to her for a little while, and then like I'm worried about going to sleep because I'm afraid I'm going to get in bed and immediately fall asleep and it's going to be like 6 o'clock. Which honestly, I know there's no problem with that because it's not like anybody's on a real schedule anymore. I guess some people are kind of getting back to a real schedule, but if I go to sleep, and it's not like I'm going to sleep and then sleeping until 7 o'clock the next morning. Like when I went to sleep at 8, I was up at 3. You know, I got my little 7 hours in because I can't sleep more than 7 hours to save my life. So yeah, I've just been like a heightened anxiety. And I think it's a lot of like me wanting to succeed. Like I put a lot of undue stress on myself. Because I mean, like so many people, they turn off work when they're done, and I'm like, nope, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to brainstorm an idea for this video. Let me get this video out before somebody else does. So it just never stops, and I need to learn how to have a healthy relationship with productivity and creativity and mental stability and all kind of illities. Why does this one look so bad? What you trying to prove? So yeah, therapy made me feel a little bit better. I have a horrible like crick in my neck because I mount my, you can't see it, it's right there. It's mounted from one of my curtain rods in my living room. My phone, like a little phone mount, so, because we're doing telehealth. And I have to like look up, I guess I could mount it another way, but it's just easier right there. Have to like look up at it, and I think because I was talking to him for an hour, talking to Mark for like an hour, my head just, not my head, my neck's kind of hurty. We did talk about this, see how grabby it is? I mean, it's so stuck together. We talked about, oh god, it's hard to say this. We talked about how much longer, because I mean, you guys see a sort of pre-produced version of me, and yeah, I've been like completely real all the time, and I've been too real some of the times, but it gets bad. It gets really, really bad for me, and I just said I don't know how much longer I can live on my own. Especially now with Carl gone, it would help my mom financially if I were to move in with her. It would help me mentally. It would help us both financially. I don't want to be the burden that I know I will be. And not even like my mom would be like, oh, you're a burden. Just it's like she's finally on her own. Like I want her to enjoy that for as long as she can before I'm like, hey, it's me. I have to move back in because I'm crazy. Why am I crazy? Oh no, I got an ant bite and now I think I'm gonna get Ebola. Like, hey, I'm moving in because I slept too long last night. And like I've lived by myself my entire life. I have never lived with another person. When I moved out of my parents' house, moved into my own house, I've been in my own house ever since. I like it that way. But you know, there's lots of things that we like that aren't great for us, you know? Sorry, I had to drink a lot of Mountain Dew and then burp a little bit. So I guess I have to make a call at some point as to what I'm gonna do. It's just like there's benefits, but there's also like, you know, what is it? Is it cost and pros and cons? Like my mom's house is always extremely hot. She doesn't think it's hot. I think it's hot because I'm big and I naturally just seem to run hotter all the time. Like she had the air on 70 the other day when I was over there on Sunday, and I was like, I gotta go home. I was like, I can't handle this. And she's like, well, it's on 70. I was like, it feels like it's 90 degrees in here. And I think that's too much. It might be why I'm so like tired, because it's just, it is horrifically hot. I don't know if I just have a bad memory or this is like the hottest summer ever. Which is weird because I keep hearing how climate change doesn't exist. Oh, by the way, that's a joke because, of course I believe climate change exists. But yeah, I'm eventually going to have to make a call there on what's going to happen. Probably sooner rather than later. Unless, of course, you guys get all your friends to subscribe and watch my videos, and then I become a YouTube millionaire, and, you know, I don't have to worry about anything. Alright, is that everybody? That's everybody, I think. Oh, I thought I was gonna have one left. Okay, so that's everything in here. I thought I had an extra one, but I guess that I did not. Did I? Did I knock it on the floor? I have 2 extra of this mesh, and I'm going to put another ruffle, whatever. You don't have to make it a gruffle deal. I'm gonna put that in there, so our sign has something to sit on. Well, now, this is just honestly just like, let's just get it on there. I know some people do this just because they don't like the circle, like the hole left in the wreath, but I usually only do it if I have an extra piece and I'm like, what am I going to do with that? I might as well throw it in the wreath. Or if I have a reason to want to fill in the hole that something's going on top of it, like this big giant truck sign. And because there's not a, oh, I guess it doesn't matter which way I put this in, but let me put it in right. Since there's not a cross, whoa, uh-oh, get back over there, spoiler alert. No, I've already shown that gigantic skeleton in a video, and I still have no idea what I'm going to do with him. Alright, so I need a bar that runs from here to here. So I can stick this in the middle. I'm going to take this, tie it together, come through here, over here, twist that together. Then I'm just gonna stick this in. We can puff it out in a minute. Pull it up and tighten it down with our a little half a pipe cleaner that held the bundle together. And see, when we put this down, if that's where we put it. But either way, I mean, even if a little bit of it's showing, it's not going to look... Why does the sign look so small now? Whatever. So I'm not going to put a bunch of ribbon in this just because I'm trying to get away from that, and I have no idea what kind of ribbon I would put in it. I'm going to have this one, which I kind of like, but I don't know if I want to waste 6 yards of it on making ribbon things. I would rather use it for a bow. Okay, so base done. Now I'm going to, it's mesh tubing. This is only 15 feet because it's like jute. If you saw my Dollar Tree video where I cut this stuff, I cut it so off that it was laughable. So I'm gonna cut all this up, but first let's do math. Oh, somebody's live on YouTube. I can watch that later. Busy bee. Where's my calculator? Okay. So we've got 15 feet times 2 is 30, obviously. Times 12 is 360 inches. I should be able to do that by myself. Divided by 18, and I think that's going to be 20 again, right? Yeah. So I'm going to make sure that these are cut. Oh, this feels gross. Ugh. I'm going to make sure these are cut at 20-ish inches. Probably go 19 just to be safe. Oh, it feels like... What does that feel like? I don't know. Y'all ever touch a bad weave? That's what it feels like. So I'm going to cut these all up with my good scissors, and I make sure that I measure every couple of cuts. So speaking of being like so like YouTuber rich, let me tell you something that aggravates me. So Jenna Marbles canceled herself. I mean, if you don't follow like YouTube stuff, you're like, what does that mean? She did some offensive videos back in the day, and not like back in the day, like last month, like 2011. They were tasteless, they were blackface, they were racially insensitive to Asian people. Not good, basically. And while she could have just said, hey, I'm sorry for what I did, which I believe she's apologized before in the past, but with everybody getting canceled lately, she came on and she said, hey, you know, I've hurt people, that was never my intention. I'm gonna go away because I've done something that hurt people, and I never want to do that. I don't want to be that person, so I'm gonna leave. And I was like, oh, okay, must be nice to just walk away from 20 million subscribers. Like, all right. And then today, the boyfriend posts that they're not doing their... She hasn't been on the podcast since she left. He was doing it by himself, and it wasn't as fun, but, you know. Alright. So did I get 9 from this? Wait, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need to learn how to measure, Dollar Tree. So they announced today that they're not doing the podcast anymore either. And I was just like, so 2020 hasn't taken enough from us that it has to take like a creator who I genuinely believe feels awful about those 2 videos. And then like the podcast, which I didn't even really watch the podcast, but I was like, okay, like it pissed me off because they have like 1 million subscribers just on the podcast. Well, how do you walk away from that? But I guess when you've got, you know, 20, not 20, like 15 years worth of YouTube money. I don't know. I'm just like, people work for so long to get a following, and then like other people can just like walk away from it. Like, you know what, no. Like, I felt the same way when people would be like, hey guys, I'm starting a new, one of my favorite like fashion vloggers, bloggers, whatever, he had a channel, it had like 300,000 subscribers, and he's like, hey guys, I'm not really posting over here anymore, come join me at my new channel, where he was essentially doing the exact same thing. And he had 15,000 subscribers, and I was like, why? You're not alienating your original audience. Like, I feel like I'm doing that because I'm not quilting anymore, and the majority of my subscribers subscribed to me when I was quilting. But I'm doing something in the same vein, you know, and he was basically doing the same thing. I don't know, I was just like, you are crazy. All of y'all's is crazy. Alright, so I have at least 10 of these. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so one of them had 9, one of them had 10. Cool. Right, I'm going to bring this back in. I have my, what is it, 20? Did I say 19? I needed 20. Oh no, I must have counted wrong. No, I need 18. My bad. They were 20 inches. 20-inch pieces, I need 18 of them. Just gonna cross them over a little bit, get to the middle, bring it in, stick it in the tie. If I can find one. And I have to make a call now about whether or not I want to add anything else to this. Like, I might glue something else on top of it, but I think I'm done adding. I mean, it kind of blends in, huh? But it gives it a little bit more texture, so what you gonna do? Am I done with this, y'all? I think so. Just because I'm trying to not do the most. So yeah, cross them over about a ½ inch, pull it out to get the middle, stick it in, cut your pipe cleaner, fold it under. I might get some of those if I go to, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow, but I might stop at Dollar Tree and see if I can find any of those vase fillers and get them in the autumn colors. Just to, bring a little bit more, because I would love if I could find that burgundy color, which is very, kind of purpley. But yeah, we will continue. Super secret long version talking time. So last night, one of the guys I follow, he's a comedian, on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram. No, he's a comedian on Instagram, and I follow him on Instagram. He posted a clip from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it was, you know, like one of those things where they say something that's like totally 1990, whatever it was, 1992, 1994. And I was like, I have not seen that in forever. So I was like, where is it? And it was on Disney Plus. So I was like, all right, time to steal Michelle's login information and watch it. So well, I'll get back to watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But when me and my sisters and my mom and dad, we went to Orlando one year for vacation, and they had like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like the bee, you know, when they're riding around on the bee, and a guy came, like one of the, not just like a random guy, he came, we were like looking at it in the audience, and he was like, would you guys like to ride the bee? And my sister was like, hell yeah! And I was like, oh, is it safe? Is that even sanitized? There might be a pandemic in 30 years. So we got to ride the bee, and they did like the, you know, they did like a green screen and they put us in the scene, and afterwards my sister was like, it was good, but I think you were like looking like you were having too much fun. You were supposed to be scared. And I was like, I don't think they're actually going to use this footage for anything. I always remember that. I was like, why are you such a jerk? Catherine, are you watching this? Why can't you just let me live my life? Riding around on a bee. So anyway, I start watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I am like, this movie, like, first of all, Disney Plus's warnings for the movies on Disney Plus are like so weird, because I think it's rated PG, huh? Yeah, because there's like a scene where the two neighbors like start hardcore making out. Like, I was like, what kind of movie are we watching here? Because they are going at it. Like, they were like, but the warning before the movie starts is light tobacco use. And I was like, what? Because the neighbor, like, you see him smoking, and I was like, oh, is that the same as like graphic violence and full frontal nudity? Like, is that this? Is that what Disney thinks is like a thing we have to be warned about? Yeah, I didn't realize how dumb that movie is. How terrible everything looks. Well, I mean, it looked great for the time, I'm sure. I'm sure I was impressed as hell when I was a kid. But like, the scale of everything in the movie is like very suspect. Like, they're small enough to ride around on bees and ants. Water droplets are gigantic and can like kill them. But the kid falls into a flower, and the pollen's too big to get up his nose because he's so small, and I was like, these measurements don't really add up. And that's why I can't watch movies that I am supposed to just sit back and enjoy, because I'm like, wait a minute. If he's so small that pollen can't get in his nose, then how is he anywhere near the same size as that ant? And I forgot the ant dies, y'all. Spoiler alert, the ant dies. I started crying. Granted, I was already emotional. I was having an emotional day. I was just sitting there and I was like, oh my god. He was trying to help and he didn't want to leave him behind. And of course the little neighbor kid is like, he's just a baby. And I was like, oh my god, I was a baby once. And I picked my dog up and held him, and he was like, what are you doing? Leave me alone, I was sleeping. And I was like, promise me you'll never get stung by a scorpion. He was like, God, I promise, whatever, get off of me. I watched that today. I started rewatching Love, Victor last night because I was awake. And I was like, what am I gonna watch? What am I gonna watch? Nobody's posting anything on YouTube. Nobody does anything on Sunday. So I started rewatching Love, Victor on Hulu. You know, it's the TV series of Love, Simon, which is one of my favorite movies. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. I've seen it like 1,000 times. I was watching that and I was like, oh, these people. I don't know, I was like, why do I keep watching things about like privileged teenagers? As a formerly privileged teenager, it's triggering to me. I guess the big question I have is whether or not I take a shower before I go to the doctor tomorrow. All signs point to, yeah, you should probably do that, but also, oh my god, I'm so tired. I'm not even really tired right now, I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it. The last couple of times I've gotten in the shower, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take a nice shower, and then I end up playing Toon Blast in the shower for like 10 minutes. And then, listening to Christmas music on Pandora. And then I'm like, oh wait, I have to actually like use soap and things. I have to do something besides just standing here. I can't believe it's like we don't have one of those Jetson things yet. You know, where you walk in there and it like does everything for you. I would love that. But I took one of those showers where you just like get in there and stand around because it was so hot the other day. I like came home. I like walking into the house, throwing my shirt off, kicking my pants off, pulling my socks off and throwing them on the ceiling fan. And I just got in the shower and I was just like, ugh. And it was there for like 20 minutes. Like, I don't even think I used any shampoo, no body wash or anything. I was just like, just wash it off, wash everything off and cool me down. It has been horrific here. Like, I am serious. Like, I need to lose like 700 pounds before next summer because this ain't it. This isn't the moment. I mean, I went outside. The only time I went outside today was to take the dog OUT. And I went to go get my wallet in my car. I forgot why. But yeah, I was like, oh my god. When do we get a break from this? Like, August is always the worst, the literal worst. That's what Mark said. He was like, yeah, that's why, because I should have had an appointment with him last week, but he's like, I'm not going to be in office. And I was like, oh, okay. Today he was like, I got to get the hell out of here during August. He said, it's too hot. I was like, well, that must be nice. I don't know where you're going. But it would be nice if he invited me. I'm probably going to put your kid through college. Mark is like my 4th therapist since I was like, oh, no, I guess I went to a therapist when I was in high school. Because I did something really stupid. That's not YouTube appropriate. I started seeing a therapist. He was a psychiatrist, and he was like, "Drugs? You need more drugs?" And I was like, "No, I don't like drugs. Like, I'm not your typical teenager. I don't want your drugs, man." And then I went from him to, I think her name was Brenda, and she was like 45 minutes late for one of my appointments, and she came with fried chicken. She's like, is this bothering you? And I was like, you're eating fried chicken in front of someone who has an eating disorder. Yes. And then after that, I went to Florida. I wasn't in therapy the entire time I was in Florida because I was just like, I'm too exhausted to do this. I can't like get into it. Came back, got another psychiatrist, another therapist who, oh Lord, y'all. If I ever told y'all this story, y'all would be like, oh my God. What the hell is he doing with his life? She was the most alternative practitioner of like therapy. Like, we did this thing. She's like, we're gonna do this thing, you know, we're gonna sit in the dark and I'm gonna play some really loud music and I want you to synchronize your breath. It's called like breath work. I want you to synchronize your breath and tell me how you feel. And I was like, okay, so like I'm in this pitch black room. She is playing this very loud music and beating on a bongo drum. And I'm like, and then like every time like I'm not breathing right, she starts beating on it faster, and that's pretty much all she did was just beat on this thing faster and faster while I hyperventilated on the couch, and it was so hot in there, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I was like, I have to pee so bad, I have to pee so bad, I have to pee so bad. And I kept falling asleep because it was incredibly hot and it was dark, and I don't know, I kind of felt like the Babadook was going to come and get me at any moment. And then afterwards she was like, how do you feel? How does that childhood trauma feel now? And I was like, exactly the same, except now I'm soaking wet. And I told my mom, and she was like, I don't want you seeing her anymore. And I was like, no, Mom, it's okay. And then she moved somewhere and she wasn't taking my insurance, so I got in with this girl, Katie, who I loved. And then she moved because why would you stay in Chalmette? And then I went to this girl, Ashley, for like, I don't know, like 2 weeks. No, it might have been like 2 months. And then she left to go somewhere else. And she's like, I'm gonna recommend somebody for you. He's new here. You know, I think you two would really get along. And I was like, a guy? No, I don't think so. And then I was just like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna take a break. And then when I was ready to go back, I called Ashley, and she's like, his name's Mark. She's like, you know, He's really good at what he does. I think you guys will really get along. And I went to go see him, and I was like, oh God, this is a guy. Guys are the worst. Men are the worst. But he is now one of my favorite people. You know, he's like on my list of, between my doctor, my mom, and Mark. They're like my people, like I want to call whenever something goes wrong, but I can't call my doctor, and I can't call, I guess I could call Mark. But I don't know. I don't know if that's like I text him sometimes, but it's usually like, hey, Carl died. Hey, my dog died. This isn't died. This is when my other dog died. I've been seeing him for like 6 years now. It's been a while. He's good. All right, so here's all my little jute things in there. I don't think they made much of a difference, but it's a little bit more texture. I do want to look for some little things to put in here, but I don't know what. I think the last thing I'm going to do for tonight is try to get this sign in here. And how should we do it? Do I want it in the middle? Like, I mean, the middle, that's cute. The middle seems to make the most sense. I'm going to have to do something to get burgundy somewhere in here. Is this, if I put some glue in here, do y'all think that's going to hold? Probably not, but maybe. I should have got some E6000 before I did this and, you know, set it up. So I'm going to hold that and let it cool. Like, I don't need it to be, I'm not trying to like glue something to the sign to keep it on here. I just want, something in here, and I just realized I glued, let me shove one of these in here real quick. And like I glued where I was going to attach one of these shut. This one's still open, I think. Maybe. Oh, you big dumb dummy. Alright, where am I? What do I need here? What am I looking for? Ah. Get out of there. Alright, this is going to go around that thing we just glued. Slap some extra glue on it. And then this is coming out here. No? What did I just do? I'm like interested in like what else Disney Plus has, because I got it back when I was in the hospital in November when it first came out. I didn't watch any of it because I was like, I'm in the hospital, oh my god. Let me not watch any of the thing I just paid for. But I was looking today and I was like, alright, they have some stuff like nostalgia. I should probably be using wire for this, but I hate using wire. This is going to be a beast to try to get on here. So I have this wreath to make. I have to make a fall lantern. That's one of my videos that's upcoming. Super secret, sped up, secret time talk. And I'm making Michelle a... Oh, is this still... Yeah, maybe you'll hold that if you stick to the Deco mesh. Alright, wait, I'm gonna have to Oh, where's my thing? How did I do it for the other video? Put a bow. I would like to... Bow? What do you guys think? I think the pipe dream of me trying to get it centered on this wreath is just like not gonna happen. So these are the three there. And I'm going to gently wrap that around there because I'm just trying to get it into position. Oh! Yeah, like a bow up here, and then like some other crap. Some other crap. That's why I make the big bucks on the YouTube. Because I tell you what you need to hear. You know what, I actually have some yarn that I could make some yarn balls with that might... Oh, you are kidding me, come on. Don't be that way. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. Ever wonder if people like stumble onto my videos and like they don't... Like they just start watching one and they're like, oh my god, what is wrong with this guy? What is he gonna do with that enormous skeleton? Oh my god, you guys know, you know what? I'm getting my first YouTube paycheck this week. I know! Can you believe it? I've not gotten a YouTube paycheck since December 2015. Which was before they unmonetized my channel. Because I stopped posting because I was dying. That's literally what happened. They're like, you're not posting enough for us to keep you a partner. So, bye. And I was like, I was in the hospital for a very long time. I almost died. But, you know, okay. I mean, back then I was making like $100 every 4 months. But you know what? It was something. Oh my god, this is a mess back here, huh? Whatever you do, if you're watching, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, don't look up to see what the actors look like today. Because you will be like, oh man. I actually read too that Rick Moranis is coming out of his semi-retirement. Y'all know Rick Moranis' wife died of cancer and he retired to raise his kids. So I guess his kids are grown now and Disney is doing a remake or a sequel with Josh Gad playing the son, who's, you know, he was in like a, this is too tight. You know, he was like a little inventor guy in the movie. So they're doing like a reboot, but I was like, how many times can we explore this this trope here of somebody getting blown up or somebody getting shrunk or whatever. But that's exciting. I always liked that about Rick Moranis. And I hate Little Shop of Horrors. Sue me. Okay, so that's where I'm stopping for today. Look at this, I said this wouldn't matter, and now it's like a big white spot. Because I don't know. I mean, I like that, and a bow would go here, but I'm gonna need something else. Alright, so it is at 99 for me. And yeah, I'll be back right. My wreath base is all done. I'm going to make a bow. I've got some leaves that I need to stick in. And then we'll be done with this. And what? Alright, Michaels. I did only pay $1.50 for this ribbon, but still. Good news is, I already sold this wreath! Yeah, the one I'm not finished making. Okay, this is annoying. I sent it to one of my friends last night, and I was like, this looks stupid, and she's like, I want that for my mom, and I was like, okay. Well, I guess it don't look stupid. I'm cutting some, like, 9-inch tails. And this is that ribbon I hate because it frays so bad. But now I see a lighter right there, so if you have ribbon that frays, if you can't cut a dove, I'm so over this inability of mine to cut a dovetail. I mean, this one even has lines on it for me to line everything up, and I still can't do it. That's better. Right, if you have a ribbon like this that you know is going to fray no matter what you do, I'm going to take my lighter and just go there a little bit. I think this is the only one I have that's going to fray, so. And I especially like to get these tips because they're always kind of like doing their own thing. Alright, so I'm adding my tails separately from my loops just because I've been doing that lately. I like the way it looks. Because that way when you do a 3-loop bow, it's not all going to one side. Alright, so I'm just going to do 6, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5, and 4 with this velvet that kind of matches the truck. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I just don't have any burgundy ribbon. Yeah, just doing 3 6-inch loops and then switching off. If you guys hear my dog hacking in the background, he's just being dramatic, I think. It sounds like me when I eat popcorn. You know, like when you get a piece of popcorn sucking through and you're like, eh, 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 eh. That's what he sounds like. I decided to throw this buffalo check in there just because, I mean, it's a truck. You know, you need the buffalo check. Can you even have one without the other? I don't think so. Okay, so that's 3 loops. And then I'm just going to come in here and cut that off. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing with the rest of these. I don't know about this red, because it is like red and the truck is not red. So, it might just be these 3. So are you guys up today? It's a brand new day. It's the 18th of August. This is nice. This is from Dollar General. Is it actually denim? That's nice, y'all. See all the cool things you learn when you watch the super long extended version? So yes, it's the 18th. Kind of out of breath, but whatever. I went to the doctor this morning at 7:30, bright and early. Because I like to get in and get out. I don't like to be the person in the waiting room waiting because somebody is in the exam room with the doctor, like being like, oh, well, this happened and that happened. So I like to get in, get out, get home. And as I somewhat suspected, my doctor was like, you're fine. It's just really hot. Like, you're really hot. It's really hot. You're stressed. A lot of stuff is going down. It's been a rough year for everybody. You've had, 2 deaths in the family within 6 weeks. But she did some blood work anyway, and we'll see how that came out. And I also lost 18 pounds. Which is not like I wasn't like, oh wow, that's cool. I was just like, oh, okay. Because when I lose weight, I tend to lose it extremely fast. I think we're gonna do these at 6'2". This is pretty. I think this rip was only like 250. I mean, it's only 3 yards, but still. But I got to talk with her for a little bit, which is always reassuring. Got my blood drawn, got a pneumonia vaccine. And I went to Walmart, I saw my mom, I got some groceries, and I came home. Oh no, I went to Dollar Tree. I called my sister, but she didn't answer. I don't know what was up with that. Probably should have called back to make sure she was okay, but that was many hours ago. So, yeah, I mean, unless something weird comes back on the blood work, I think I was just having a bad week. And like I talked to my therapist, and it very well could just be a depressive cycle that I'm stuck in right now, which doesn't mean I'll be stuck there forever. It just happens sometimes. And I do have more like baseline normal days than I do days where I'm like, oh god, I'm not gonna make it. My doctor, she thinks I'm too hard on myself. She's like, when you came here, you had this and you had that. You had high cholesterol and high blood pressure, and you were getting headaches all the time, and you were having really bad anxiety. And I was like, I still kind of have the bad anxiety, but it was nothing. It's nothing like it used to be. I mean, also on enough psychiatric drugs to tranquilize an elephant, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So that made me feel better. Yeah, I walked in, like they sent you this. They called me, they texted me, and they sent me an email to confirm, and I was like, dude, I'm coming. Calm down. But it's like, oh, make sure you have your mask. Oh wait, I still need this. Make sure you have your mask, stop in the lobby, because they closed down like every entrance to the hospital except for one. Like there's a medical office, but it's like attached to the, anyway. I need to put this one, yeah, I need to put this one this way. So last time I went in May, I think, I'm gonna do these at 5. Like there was a person there who like took my temperature with the little forehead thing, gave me a wristband, was like, okay, you good to go. So today I go, and she's still there because she's the receptionist at my doctor's office, but she was downstairs taking temperature. There's like an iPad looking thing on like a stand, and I was like, what's this robot doing here? She's like, it's our new thermometer, and I was like, this is like a thing that recognizes your face, has an infrared scan in it to like scan you to see what your temperature is. And I was like, how is this more cost effective than the one you just aim at somebody's head? And she's like, oh, well, it's easier with contamination. And I was like, you're not touching me with either one, so I don't see why it matters, but go ahead. And I got upstairs and I was talking to my doctor. I was like, what is that thing? And I was talking to the nurse. I was like, what is going on with that robot downstairs? She said, I don't know, it wasn't here yesterday. And I was like, oh, all right. But it was weird. She's like, just step here. She's like, stand here and line your head up with the box. And I was like, this is like trying to pay at Walmart. This is pretty. This is called Scarecrow Plaid, which I guess I'm into it. Oh, I forgot my tails. Can't believe that would also embarrass me like that. Yeah, that was fun. They had a little bit of Halloween stuff out at, and I mean a little bit, like 5 things out at Walmart. And I was like, ooh, it's almost here. Talked to my mom for a little bit. Get this, you know, she works at the Walmart, and they're having company, which is when the big wigs come in to check on the little wigs. And the manager says, hey, do you want to talk to the big wigs when they come in? And my mom's like, yeah, I do, because she's like overworked, underpaid, you know, aunt. She's like, yeah. And he says, okay, well, when you're done with this, come talk to me and I'll tell you what to say. And my mom's like, you know, my mom, she's not the one. She's not it, you know. She's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you know, I just want to go over what you're going to say. You know, what I want you to say. And she's like, why do you have to tell me what to say? He's like, well, you need to, you know, if you want to say something yourself, you need to run it by me. So it's like, you know, we need you to talk to these people, but don't go telling them what's actually going on here because it'll make us look bad. And my mom was like, you know what? No. You're not telling me what to say. Which is good for her. I'm bringing these in like 4.5, I guess. I don't know. I can't really see. Isn't it messed up? Like, just, oh yeah, we'll tell you what to say. They want to do a middle. I usually do want to do a middle loop. I'm gonna take this and cut it here, and to hide all those little things that went over, I'm going to put it in like this, and that'll hide my little overage, whatever we want to call it. What color is it that we think? Like a white or an orange? I don't have an orange, I have a red. Maybe? I think my mom, one of her co-workers was out because her husband tested positive. She had to, said that. Oh crap, I said it again. Edit that out, future Adam. Sorry guys. Tested positive, the husband did. Wife had to self-quarantine. Halfway through quarantine, the wife tests positive. You know, she gets her results back that she tests positive too. So they're both, you know, she's going for like a week, 2 weeks. My mom is handling her department, the men's department, which hasn't had a department manager in, I don't know, since like December. And ladies. So she's like, she's got to do like 3 departments at once with no help. I was just like, you need to say something. I said, you need to write a letter to somebody. You need to do something because they're never going to hire someone to take over men's if you're doing it for free. Come on, y'all. I told her, I said, I'm going to write a letter to corporate. I'm going to tell them Why is there a 65-year-old woman who is recently widowed and lost her mother running 3 departments at once? But it didn't, because every time I do something like that, it always backfires. Like, they'd be like, yeah, hey, somebody complained about you running all these things, and we tracked the IP, and it's, you know, it's linked to your account on Walmart.com, so, you're fired. I can't imagine I'm firing mom. I can't imagine what that would look like. You go in and it'd just be like underway everywhere. Oh, that light is so aggravating. Alright. It's hot in here. I know it's not hot in here, but it's like hot in here. I don't know why this pumpkin's in here. Okay, this is like definitely fallen over, but let's see what we can do to rescue it. I think I'm gonna put it on and then try to, well, let me like situate the tails first because I want those coming down. My loop's going up. Yeah, see, like this. One day I'm gonna invent the perfect bow maker for me. Oh, I didn't put the red in. Which, yeah, that's too bright for that. That red ribbon, it's been taken out of like 3 wreaths already. You'll get your turn come Christmas. Oh, and remember I said I thought I had another one for the middle? I do, it's in my office, I saw it today. I was like, oh man. So I'm going down through the mesh unsuccessfully. Oh, I got it. Cool. I came home and watched, I don't know why I was thinking about this. Why was I thinking about it? The movie, Thinner, you know, that was on the based on the Stephen King novel. If it was Richard Bachman writing as Stephen King writing as Richard Bachman, I don't know. But I was thinking about it and I was like, oh man, I want to watch that. I had this like horrible dream. Woke up having a panic attack after I laid down earlier. I had a dream that I was like weaving like a chair back. Are you kidding me right now with this? I was weaving a chair back and my sister, my oldest sister, went to go stay with my grandma, who is dead, so I don't know what she was doing there. And then my other sister went to basketball camp, which she doesn't even live here, so I don't know why I was like upset that that was happening. And my mom was like, I gotta go take a shower. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she left to go take a shower, and I was like, why does everybody always leave me? But I was like in a Walmart checkout line weaving this chair back, like a, you know, like, not with, it wasn't with like reeds or anything, it was just, it was weird. Can you please come through? Oh, oh, really? So for whatever reason, I was like, oh, I want to watch Thinner. I was like, that's such a good movie, and I watched it, and I was like, this movie is terrible. Not aged well at all. It's because I think somebody, somewhere, probably has a massive problem with the amount of times they say a derogatory term towards Romanian people? Is that what it is? Like, I know some people don't find it offensive, some people do. You know what it is. You should know what it is. I mean, they are a caravan, you know. But like, yeah, it's like every other word, and I was like, ugh. I was like, this hasn't aged well, and the acting in it is abysmal. I don't know why I was that guy. Man, I hope none of these people ever like find my YouTube and he's like, he's gonna comment on this video and be like, hey, what movies have you ever made, jerk? Why are you always talking about how terrible of an actor everybody is? I'll be like, because America. Wait, why is this way up here? Over there, okay. And then you, I don't know what's going on with this bow. It fell over at some point. So yeah, the movie's like horribly acted. Doesn't cast anyone in a very good light. Like this guy, if you've never seen it, I mean, it's worth a watch just because of, be like, how did this movie get made? Did I burn these already? Because they are not looking great. But it was the 90s when everybody said derogatory things and, you know. But I called Michelle last night and I was talking to her about Euphoria. I was like, listen, they're running around in these little skirts. Like, they barely have any clothes on. And she's like, that's how the kids dress these days. I was like, oh, all right. Did not know. Don't have kids. Try not to pay attention to teenagers. Because I'm like, look at those kids over there. They're definitely going to try to walk on my lawn. And I'm going to have to get my broom and go outside and chase them off. And tell them they're meddling. I don't even think any teenagers live around me. Oh no, there's one down the street. I saw him one time and I was like, what the hell is he doing? Who is that? Alright, let me pull out. Yeah, this is, I'm gonna have to pull on that 7 different ways from Sunday. And I wanted to put a pumpkin in here, but now I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of where I'd want to put it. Right, does that make sense to anybody else? Oh, whatever. Let's do it. Let's just do it, guys. Of course, I've been sitting here this whole time and the glue is still not melted. Come on. Alrighty. So let me try to fix this bow. They always fall over. I should have like I don't know why I pulled it out before I got it straight, but if it ever happens, your bows ever fall over, you be the boss of that bow. I'm still hating this. Love the way it looks, hate the way it feels, hate the way it acts. This Joann's mesh. See, I watched Thinner, and then I was like, all right, I gotta go. I gotta go do some real work. Can I just like scrape some of this off the bottom here? I sure can. Alright, let's hope that I like this where it's at, because it's never moving. Did you just see how much glue was on there? I guess it doesn't matter. It'll stay. I mean, those pumpkins weigh like nothing. And then can you do what you gotta do? Alright, and the last thing I'm gonna add is I pick, this is like one of those things, you know, like every time you go to the grocery, you pick up like a loaf of bread or something. You know, that thing that you get every time you go? This is my Walmart thing I get every time I go. Is 2 things of leaves. I'm only going to put 1 in here. I'm going to put one bunch in here. Because I know my client. Well, this one was bought via proxy for someone else. Doesn't that sound official? Like, doesn't it sound like I'm somebody and not just some dork sitting around in his living room talking to his camera? She said she loved, it's my friend Jenny, who had the 2 double door wreaths for her sister. Her mom saw them and she's like, I want one like that. And Jenny was like, it costs $1 million. And she was like, I have 60. And I was like, all right, whatever. I can work with that. So, I mean, is that drying, cooling, whatever? Probably not for anybody else, but like for Jenny, yeah. Your mom wants a wreath, that's fine. Okay, and I want like one here, definitely. Come on, glue. I let these a little bit longer just so they can kind of stick up some. Yeah, this looks cute. I'm still not sure about that pumpkin, but unless I go buy like a creme brulee torch, it's not going nowhere. Yeah, like when I speak good English? It's not going nowhere. I tell you, that's one of my biggest pet peeves when I'm watching like YouTube videos. I was watching one and somebody's like, yeah, I seen these on a website, and then when I got them, I seen them up close. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Well, these ones. I seen these ones on the website, I'm like, oh! What's wrong with you? Like, not that it's like, oh my god, I have to unsubscribe to this person. I'm like, oh man, like, I feel bad. Like, I'm like, oh, like, you don't know any better, and that makes me feel bad. And then I was watching one of the new people I subscribed to, because I've been subscribing a lot to, like, crochet videos, and I'm gonna do a video on crochet so y'all can see how amazing I am at it. It's like okay, those lights are definitely flickering, and I know you have to be able to see that, so off goes the glue. There we go. Everything's fine now. Like yarn hauls, because for some reason I have so much yarn because I was a failed knitter and a failed spinner and a failed weaver. I wove good. I just wasn't very good at spinning. I was watching it and she was like, I don't know how to say this, and she pronounced it, and it was like, I didn't even know what she was trying to say because the pronunciation was so off. And then she showed it to the camera and I was like, oh good lord. Oh, you poor woman. And I never want to be one of those people that like comments and is like, hey, just so you know. But trust me, if I was like mispronouncing something, I would definitely want somebody to tell me. I mean, I would be pissed and I would have to fight them in the parking lot of the old Kmart down the road. But I was just like, ooh. Or whatever. The people who knew she was mispronouncing it wrong knew the way it should have been pronounced. They knew how to find it. The people who didn't know, whatever, you know. It's like it doesn't bother me. It's just like I feel awkward. Just because I'm like, oh my god, if I said that, I would be so embarrassed. Okay, so I am stopping right there because we don't want to overdo her. We want her to be... I wish I could attach this down some more, but I mean, it's there. I guess I could... No. Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I need, like... If I had one of those fancy... If somebody would buy me one of those fancy hole punches and send it to me. Yes, but that's cute for Miss Patty. Jenny, is that your mom's name? Jenny's not watching us. She's drunk somewhere. What time is it? Oh yeah, it's 3:57. She's definitely drunk. So yes. This is wasn't where I was going, but you know, it's where it is. And I really like the sign. I actually thought it was blue, which is why I have the blue denim ribbon, but that is nice. I will go to Dollar General tomorrow and I will buy more of that because I like it. Well, no, I probably have to wait until like next month when I can have money to spend on ribbon and not have to spend it on food. Alright, so she's simple. Hopefully around 6 o'clock tonight I can go take pictures of it because it is ungodly hot right now, and if I take this outside it will melt, and so will I. So thanks for watching. If you watch the short version, thank you. If you watch the long version, go check out Euphoria. And make sure your teenagers are wearing clothes, because I'm just saying. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.